Popeye was released in 1980 and directed by Robert Altman. It stars Robin Williams, Shelley Duvall, and Paul L. Smith. This movie is a musical, live-action take on the classic Fleischer Studios Popeye shorts from the 1930s and 40s. The story begins as Popeye rows toward the seaside village of Sweet Haven. Upon his arrival, he's approached by the local tax collector, who works for a mysterious figure called the Commodore.
Well, first of all, there's 17 cents new in town tax. And there's 45 cents rowboat under the wharf tax and $1 leaving your junk lying around the wharf tax. So altogether, you owe the Commodore $1.87.
As Popeye walks through the town, the locals eye him with suspicion. He eventually finds a room for rent at the home of Olive Oyl and her family. Olive is preoccupied with her upcoming engagement party, and Popeye joins the family for dinner. Here, he's introduced to her mother Nana Oyl, her father Cole Oyl, her brother Castor Oyl, and family friends Wimpy and Giesel. Later that evening, we learn that Popeye is searching for his father, who he calls Papa. The next day at the local cafe, Popeye discusses his father with Wimpy, and a group of locals throw insults his way. After ignoring it a few times, Popeye finally responds and a fight breaks out. He dispenses with all of them and heads off. The engagement party starts, and Bluto, who is set to marry Olive, arrives at the house. However, Olive is nowhere to be found. As it turns out, she's having second thoughts, so she sneaks out the window. She runs into Popeye, and as they talk, a mysterious woman switches Olive's basket with another. They find a baby and a note inside, asking Popeye to watch over him. Bluto, who is already angry that Olive never showed up, goes into a rage when she appears with Popeye and the baby. Bluto takes it out on Popeye, and the taxman declares a large fine on the Oyls on behalf of Bluto and the Commodore. Olive's brother Castor spots a poster offering 10 days tax exemption for anyone who lasts one round with Oxblood Oxheart, the dirtiest fighter alive. Despite his family's objections, he enters the ring and loses quickly. Suddenly, Popeye jumps in, puts up a good fight, and emerges victorious. We soon learn that the baby, whom Popeye named Sweet Pea, has the ability to predict the future. Wimpy takes notice and offers to watch Sweet Pea with the intention of using him to win money in a gambling parlor. Popeye tracks them down and takes Sweet Pea back, but Bluto calls for Wimpy to make a deal. Meanwhile, Popeye accidentally knocks the taxman into the water, and the townspeople cheer. In the confusion, Wimpy grabs Sweet Pea and takes him to Bluto. However, Wimpy has second thoughts and tells Olive, and they both sneak aboard the Commodore's boat. At this point, I'm going to reveal a minor spoiler. It's essential to the rest of the plot, so I'm warning you now. It turns out that the Commodore is Popeye's long-lost father, and he's been promising Bluto a cut of a buried treasure for years. Bluto decides to tie up the Commodore and use Sweet Pea's gift to find the treasure for himself. Wimpy and Olive run to Popeye for help, and this leads to a final showdown involving Popeye, Bluto, the Commodore, the Oyls and their friends, Sweet Pea, a treasure chest, and an octopus. Keep your eyes open for the following. The Sweet Haven set was built on the island of Malta in the middle of the Mediterranean, and was converted into a tourist attraction after filming was completed. It still exists to this day. Robin Williams was starring on Mork and Mindy when this movie was released. In fact, this was his first lead role in any movie. Other recognizable cast members include the following. Shelley Duvall appeared in Nashville, Annie Hall, The Shining, Time Bandits, Roxanne, and produced the series Fairy Tale Theater. Paul L. Smith can be seen in Dune, Red Sonja, and Haunted Honeymoon. Ray Walston's credits include South Pacific, The Apartment, The Sting, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and Johnny Dangerously. However, his biggest role may have been opposite Bill Bixby on My Favorite Martian. Paul Dooley appeared in Slapshot, Breaking Away, Strange Brew, 16 Candles, A Mighty Wind, and provided the voice of Sarge in the Cars movies. Richard Libertini, who I tend to confuse with Vincent Schiavelli for some reason, can be found in Days of Heaven, Sharky's Machine, All of Me, Fletch, Awakenings, and The Bonfire of the Vanities. If you look closely, you can spot Dennis Franz as one of the locals who bullies Popeye. Best known for NYPD Blue, he also appeared in Dress to Kill, Blowout, and Die Hard 2. Linda Hunt was just starting her career, and would later have credits including Dune, Silverado, Kindergarten Cop, and Pocahontas. Sweet Pea was played by Wesley Ivan Hurt, grandson of director Robert Altman. So, is the movie any good? This movie has grown on me. While it's not perfect, there are some elements that make this stand out. The casting is spot on, the set design looks great, and a few of the songs are catchy. True, Olive has 2 solo songs that feel awkward, but that's really the nature of her character. The cast and crew went out of their way to make this seem like a live-action version of the 1930s cartoons, including the mumbling dialogue and impossible physics to go with it. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching my video. If you'd like to see more content like this, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. To access my retro t-shirt store, check the links in the description. Thanks for all your support.
Thanks.